Hola muchachos, ¿qué tal? Buenas tardes, aquí tienen el horario para hoy, jueves el 3 de marzo. You did not have any homework for today, just to continue to think about and make headway on your Chapter 2A elective assessment project about things that you did in the past tense over the course of a week, or the fashion profile of the United States or countries throughout Latin America. Your warm-up for today, the learning target is to talk and write about things that you and others have or use. And your warm-up is out of the textbook, página 136. Las preguntas de comprensión, número 1 a 4 en el ejercicio 9. Y las preguntas pertenecen a la lectura, al anuncio. Así que lee el anuncio del periódico y contesta las preguntas. If you can answer in full complete sentences, that'd be terrific. For example, ¿cómo se llama el producto del anuncio? El producto del anuncio se llama Dentabrite. Rather than just putting Dentabrite, try a complete sentence. El producto del anuncio is the subject, and then the verb would be se llama. The next question, ¿para qué puedes usarlo? For what reason or for what purpose can you use it? It being product. Yo puedo usarlo. Yo puedo usarlo para. What can you use toothpaste for? Cepillarse los dientes, ¿cierto? So complete sentences is the goal. At the very minimum, you should be able to pull the correct answer from the text or just plain common sense, right? Using pragmatic experience. So that is the warm-up. We're going to then jump into the comprehension questions from the video on page 133. That's where we last left off. Depending upon what class you're in, you may or may not have had the opportunity to finish those. So if we need to finish these, we will. And you can look at the video from the previous class for what these questions are asking, but they're all text dependent as well. Tying a little bit of Kobe Bryant today. Kobe Bryant was one of my childhood idols, not even childhood, even as an adult, maybe even more so as an adult than when I was a kid. So watching his career highlights, if you're not familiar with his work and career. And then Kobe Bryant was a linguist. Yes, he was a professional basketball player, but he had a love for languages and spoke 3 fluently and was in the process of acquiring Mandarin before he passed tragically in 2020 from a helicopter accident. So we'll kind of invoke him as we navigate a pretty difficult part of where we're at right now in our second language acquisition, doing verbs in the past tense and then irregular verbs in the preterite. Before we do, we'll talk about direct object pronouns on page 138, and then we'll do some of the practice on page 138, exercises 12 and 13. So direct object pronouns, we have them in English. In English, they are it, him, her, and them. Are direct object pronouns in English. And a direct object pronoun, essentially, a direct object tells who or what receives the action of a verb. To watch what, to cook what, to read what, to listen to what, right? Whatever is receiving the action of the verb, that's our direct object. Devolví el libro. El libro would be the example of a direct object, right? What's being returned? The book is being returned. So instead of having to repeat constantly the direct object, once it's established, we use what's called a direct object pronoun. Pronoun is what takes the place of a noun, right? Instead of saying Mr. Gary, Mr. Gary, Mr. Gary, I would use the subject pronoun I, right? Instead of calling everybody by name, I could just use the subject pronoun you, the you plural. So we use these often in spoken language and in written language too. So I want you guys to become familiar with them in Spanish. Now, direct object pronouns have the same gender, masculine or feminine, and number, singular or plural, as the nouns they replace. So if you wanted to say, I returned the books are masculine plural. So I'm going to use the masculine plural form, the masculine plural direct object pronoun, which would be los. ¿Ayudaste a tu mamá en casa? Did you help your mom at home? Yes, I helped her. Sí, la ayudé. La, because mamá is obviously feminine singular. So really commonly used, and what we're going to do now is do exercise 12 and 13. For exercise 12, you guys are identifying the direct object pronoun in the conversation between Teresa and her mom, and you're filling in the blank with the direct object pronoun that corresponds with the direct object. So for example, ¿Qué tal la película, Teresa? Mom asking Teresa, what did you think of the movie? Bien, mamá, me gustó mucho. Tú blank viste anoche, no? You saw it last night. Well, what is it? What is being seen? What's the direct object? Be la película, right? The movie. Is la película masculine or feminine? Feminine, right? Ends in an A. La película. Singular or plural? Singular, right? Because it doesn't end in an S, so you're going to use the feminine singular direct object pronoun. Tú la viste anoche, ¿no? La for número uno. Sí, pero no me gustó. I didn't like it. Oye, ¿dónde están las cosas que compraste en la farmacia? Where are the things that you purchased, that you bought at the pharmacy? I don't see them. Them would be our direct object pronoun, right? What are they? What was purchased at the pharmacy? Be las cosas, right? The things, the stuff. Las cosas is feminine plural. And so the direct object pronoun that we would use would be las, right? So, no las veo. I don't see them. Do one more together. El shampoo está sobre la mesa, ¿no? No blank ves. You don't see it. It, in this case, would be el shampoo. The shampoo is on top of the table. You don't see the shampoo, right? It's the direct object. What's being seen? El shampoo is masculine singular. So the direct object pronoun would be lo for that one. So continue the rest of the conversation. You're filling in the blanks with the appropriate direct object pronoun. And you're taking a look. The direct object is going to come usually like right before the blank, right? And the sentence right before the blank. Because a pronoun takes place of a previously established noun. All right, and the last exercise, exercise 13, próxima página. You guys are going to use page 152, the glossary, the keynotes that we identified, took down on last class. And you are going to establish what these are in Spanish. Como se dice tennis racket in español. Como se dice stamps, toothpaste, roller skates, gasoline, and soap. All of that is on page 152. And then to start off this conversation...
¿Por qué tienes los palos de golf?
Los tengo porque quiero jugar al golf esta tarde.
you're going to start off the question with whatever that item is, right? So for number one, for example, ¿Por qué tienes? Why do you have? Actually, let's just use the example. ¿Por qué tienes los palos de golf? Why do you have the golf clubs? Golf clubs are masculine plural, right? Los palos. De golf is an adjective. We're only looking at the noun. Los palos is masculine plural, so that's why they're using the masculine plural direct object pronoun, los. Los tengo porque is the first part, right? So you're going to begin your sentences with the direct object pronoun that should replace these direct objects, right? That's the first part. Lo, la, los, or las. In this case, los tengo porque, and then you finish off saying what you want to do, yo quiero, I want. What you need to do, yo necesito, I need. What you're going to do, voy a, or what you have to do, tengo que. So, los tengo porque quiero jugar al golf. I have them because I want to play golf this afternoon, right? So to finish off part B for all of these, you got to figure out an activity or an action or an errand, a daily routine, habit that would be associated with each of these items. Homework for the weekend? Have a nice weekend, y'all. Continue to think about that project for Chapter 2B, and I'll see you guys in class. Adios.